Greetings friends and welcome to Let's Make a Tower Defense Part 6. In today's video I'm going to show you how to add lives so that our little chickie only has a certain amount of lives. When those lives run out you will lose. And also how to add in money so that you can earn money from taking down enemies and spend money by getting towers. So without further ado, let's get stuck in. So I think the first thing we'll do is add in lives, and it's a really easy process. I'm going to go to our wave emitter just so that all our logic is kind of centralized. So the wave emitter is kind of just going to be like our big logic center for the whole game. But you can really stick this onto the chickie if you want as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to gadgets, then I'm going to go to logic and processing, then I'm going to create a variable, and this variable will be lives. Ooh, 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 yeah, yeah. Alrighty, the minimum lives, we'll set this to 0, or the minimum value for lives will be 0, because of course you'll only get, when you get to 0, it won't go, you won't have -1 life. And let's say the max lives are 10. Alrighty, so we've set lives and the parameters of it, or its minimum and maximum values, are between 0 and 10. At the beginning of the game, in other words, its initial value is going to be 10. And now we have 10 lives. Let us display it, because we want to show our player how many lives they have left. We can do it with the number display. We can also do it with the text displayer. But I'm going to have it over here. And I think we can move this around. Maybe we want to put it in the top right or something like that. You can make it a bit bigger. You can be like, okay, cool. Or actually, our wave... the amount of waves we have left, I think, is in the top right, or the time between waves is there. So I'm just going to put it over here rather, and I'm going to say, let's make it green. That's how many lives we have left. Alrighty, and then what you're going to do is we're going to edit something on our enemies to make them reduce a life when they get somewhere. So we're going to go show and hide, turn off preview and visibility. We're going to go into the logic of our enemy. And then we're going to go into their root logic. And we've got our root logic that we made back in the old second video, part 2. And we are going to go into gadgets again. We're going to go into logic and processing. Then we're going to go variable modifier. Stick that down. We're going to go into it. We're going to choose our particular variable. And that's going to be lives. We'll go add -1. Whoops. So it's a little bit counterintuitive, but yeah, there's no minus function, so you just add -1. Alrighty. Then we're going to connect this to the power, and then when our enemy dies, and when they sort of get to the point, which is where the chickie is, they're going to disappear. They're going to reduce the amount of enemies remaining, and they're going to reduce your lives by 1. Alrighty. Let's see if it works. So we have our 10 enemies. Goodness gracious, they're slow. Okay, wait, nah. I'm gonna cry myself to sleep if I have to watch these guys walk at like such a slow speed. So let's go back. Yeah. Let's go back into the root logic and just make them move a little bit faster for the sake of it. Alright, that's much better. So we don't have any towers. Oh no! We have failed to say how many towers we've got. Oh, we haven't made any towers to defend our poor chickie. So let's see what happens. When they get there, we're watching here. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All our lives are going. Oh no! Bing. And it has become 0. Alrighty, so we might want to do something. We might want to make something happen when it reaches 0. So what we can do for that is we can get ourselves a variable modifier. And our variable modifier will be modifying which variable? Which variable? It'll be lives. But the operation type will be get. So in other words, it's going to get the value of lives, whatever lives is currently. It'll continuously update. Then we're going to add a calculator and make it so that when lives is equal to 0, something is going to happen. So when lives equals 0, so at the moment it's 10, then something is going to happen, and that thing that is going to happen is we can add in a door, so it becomes like the end of the game. Doorway here. So the game will end then. And let's see if this works. Give it a bit of a test. Oh yeah, we can actually do play tests and stuff. Woohoo, here's me. Oh no! I'm running away from the enemies. No! Here they come. Stay back. Back, I say. No! Okay. Enough fooling around. Oh, it looks like the chickie's following me. Oh, and this is totally just destroyed. This has just destroyed everything. Okay, no, it's fine. Okay, the lives are going down. I've totally messed this up. And now you see, so you triggered a doorway. So apart from I'm not sure why this chickie has follow logic. I'm just going to go into this and turn off their follow behavior. Yeah, I'm going to turn that off. Should be good now. Okay, cool. So yeah, when we got down to 10 lives, then it disappeared, and the game ended. Didn't disappear. Sorry, it triggered a doorway, which is basically like you'd go to the next area, or it would be the end, or whatever. Alrighty, lovely. So that is cool, and friends, that is actually how you do lives. So you set up a lives variable, and you can have something that displays it, like a number displayer. You can also add like a little text display, and next to it that would be like lives remaining if you wanted to, you know. My user interface, my UI is not very good looking at the moment, so you'll just have to excuse that. But I really leave it up to your creativity. I'm just showing you the basics behind the logic, you know. Alrighty, then when you'll have a variable modifier set to lives and get, this will constantly update how many lives you have, and when it equals to 0, it's going to trigger a doorway. So that's all there is to adding lives. Let's get on to money. So there's a lot of guides out there with like instructions on how to make money and currency and all these sorts of things, but some of them can be really complex and really tough. But this is just a nice simple one. So we're going to go into gadgets, we're going to go into logic and processing, and we're going to get another variable. And this variable is going to be money. Money. Is it real enough? Okay, you can set the minimum value to 0. You can set the maximum value to whatever you want. 999, 1,000, 500, you know, whatever your game, whatever the sort of limits of your game are. We can make another number display. We can actually just copy this one, and we maybe move it so it's not in the exact same position. And for this one, what you might want to do is to go on to text box properties, autofit, turn that off, go to alignment, have it aligned, its horizontal alignment to the right, reduce the size of it, move it about here-ish. Alright. And then you're going to want to go into moves and outputs and put down a text displayer. And in this text displayer, you're going to type whatever your currency is. So you can say dollar, you can say euro, you can say pound. I'm South African, so I'm just going to use rand. A little bit of a shout out to the homeland. I'm going to turn off this stuff and this stuff and this stuff, which is, so in other words, sorry, I'm being silly. Turn off the text box property, turn off the text box, in other words, make it invisible. Make the border invisible, make the shadow invisible. And you can open this one again by pressing square. And then we'll go over here, increase the size of it. So this will be like how much. This will be your currency symbol, whatever it can be. Zenny, Gil, shout out to the Final Fantasy humans. Okay, but actually, yeah, I'm gonna make this dollar. But for the people who actually watch this video, you know that I'm a South African. Shout out. Alrighty. Then we've got, Then we've got this, and we've got our currency. And then what we're going to want to do is we're going to go into our puppet, because we want our puppets to give us a certain amount of cash when we defeat them. Think of it sort of like a bounty. And the way you can do this is when their health reaches 0, what you can do is add a variable modifier. Go over here. And the variable modifier will affect which one? It'll affect money. And we'll say add. And we'll say if you want to give your dude $1, $1 gold, one whatever, that'll, you know, this depends on the particular kind of game you've got, you know, and how you want to balance these things. Like maybe the guys in the first wave give you 1 gold, the guys in the fifth wave give you 2 gold, or maybe there's big dudes that drop like 10 gold, you know. Really, whatever matters and whatever works for you. So it's set to add, and then you choose the amount you want. And this will take effect when their health is 0. Alrighty. But not when they get to the end point. So not just when they die, because if you did that, then you'd get points even if they died or whatever. Which is not what we want at the minute. So let's see if it works. I'm gonna build myself a nice cannon tower. Oh. Okay. One thing I might want to do quickly is just go and reduce their speed again so they move at a sane pace once more. So we'll go into root logic and we'll set the speed to 1. Alrighty. Let's see this. Arrow tower. Whoops, square. Square to build. Alrighty. Sorry, my interface on the right isn't very nicely aligned. You can do all those things properly with like a grid snap, but just for now. Oh, look, now we've got 2. So we've taken out a few of these dudes. We've taken out a bunch. And we should end up with 10 at the end. Yeah, so we took out 10 dudes and we got $10. Woot! Alrighty. But now we want to actually spend our cash when we build towers. So let's get into that. Alrighty, so first thing, we're just going to delete all of our extra tower nodes that we copied from before, just so that we have our one central node where we do all of our business. So what we're going to do in order to buy our towers and allow players to spend money to get them is we're going to add an intermediate step between the players pushing the button and building the tower or spawning the tower. And that's going to be like a transaction. A transaction is going to happen. So we'll go into gadgets. We'll go into variable. Oh no, wait. Sorry, we won't get a variable modifier just yet. We'll get a microchip first. And this will be our transaction microchip. Transact. Alrighty. Then we're going to get our variable modifier. And our variable modifier will be, which variable are we looking at? We're looking at money. We're going to get the value of money. Alrighty. Then when we get the value of money, what we're going to do to it is connected to A of our calculator. We get a nice calculator. And we'll say less than. Let's say this tower costs $5. So let's go into operand B and make this 5. Oops. Make it 5. Alrighty. So what this is saying now is when money is less than 5, we're going to add in a nice keyframe, or rather a timeline. So for that, we're going to animate and we choose ourselves a timeline. Then we go into our timeline and we're going to stick down a text displayer. So gadgets, movers and output, and then text displayer. We can reduce the size of this so it lasts for like 2 seconds. This text display is going to say not enough, not enough. Build more farms. It's going to say not enough cash. Not enough cash. You can put this in the middle. And this will be there for 2 seconds. You can also add in a sound effect here if you want, like meep meep. Like that's not going to happen. Bozo. Alrighty. So that's going to be triggered by this. So this checks have you got at least $5? If not, or rather, is your money less than 5? Your money is less than 5, so you don't get it. Alrighty. But if it's that your money is not less than 5, in other words, if you've got more than 5, we're going to add in a nice not gate. So this is a bit of a backwards way to do it. So it's saying, is your money less than 5? Yes. Okay, you can't buy. Is your money less than 5? No, it is not less than 5. It is in fact more than 5. Then something good is going to happen. And that thing that is good is, it's going to build our thingy here. So it's going to spawn our tower. So we can delete this original connection between the AND gate and the tower, and we can create the result of this. We can connect that to our transact. Okay, cool. And now one important step that I actually left out is that once we've checked that you have enough cash, so you do indeed have more than $5, now you're going to build it. Well, now you've actually got to spend it. So we're going to go into gadgets, variable modifier, and it's also going to trigger this variable modifier, which is going to affect money. It's going to add -5. Alrighty. So that's going to reduce the amount of cash we have by 5 when we buy something. But we're also going to activate a keyframe, and this is just a tip. And what this keyframe is going to do is that it's going to make sure you've got more than -1 cent. So basically it turns off, this keyframe turns off the money checker, because sometimes, because this is all running simultaneously, you would buy something, and then if you have 0 cash, it would say you don't have enough money, but you don't want this thing to check you after you've actually bought the thing. So this turns off the price checker, because this calculator checks the price or checks the amount you have. So that's just a little extra something you can add. You can also name this keyframe to something like deactivate price check. Alrighty, so let's see if this works. Let's print been playing too much Death Stranding. Let's copy this and make a few so that we will only actually be able to build 2 towers, or 2 arrow towers. Let's build that. Oh wait, of course, silly me. Well, we now know that my not enough cash thing works, but we've actually got to close this puppet logic, go into our wave emitter, and give us some money to start off with. So we go into initial value of our money variable, and we can set that to 10. So now we have $10 in the beginning. So I'm going to go here, build an arrow tower. Oh, now I've got $5 left. Build another one. Okay, sweet. And then build a third one. Ah, not enough cash. Alas. Okay. Alrighty, one thing I noticed there, just with our animation, we can delete these extras for now. Just with the animation, which is with the transact, is that it's set to sustain. So you want to set to once. So when you don't have enough cash, it'll just say not enough cash, and it'll play its sound. That's just a little change there. And really, this works totally fine. You can copy this, delete the connection for the cannon tower as well. Give it power there. Go into it here. Connect the NOT gate to the power of this emitter. If you want to change the amount of cash that something costs, you can go into calculator and say, okay, cool, the cannon tower is actually going to cost $6. And then make sure that you would make this -6, because that's the cost. You could make a value slider and attach it to both of these, so that it's like you have, just one specific price, and you only have to change one thing, and it does them both. But yeah, that's totally fine. And yeah, so now the cannon tower will cost $6, and the arrow tower will cost you $5. So let's try this again. As I said, there's a lot of copying and deleting and of the tower nodes to see if they're working. That's all just part of the process. Okay, let's get a cannon tower. Alrighty. Let's get ourselves an arrow tower. Ah, we don't have enough cash. Alrighty. So we'll have to get some more cash, and this is where the interesting part comes in, because characters are like, I need more cash. I need more cash. Ah. Boom. Okay, I've got enough. Oh, arrow tower. Ooh. This is immediately, it just adds a bit of tenseness, because you're like, I've got to have my towers, otherwise there's going to be too many of them. Ooh. But friends, that is it. That is in fact it. That's all there is to making your little tower and having, or rather buying your tower. So at the moment we've added in some life, we've added in some money. One thing I'm going to do is actually just move these things, move these things ever so slightly. Do I have a grid snap on? Okay, turn the grid snap off, because that might mess with things. I'm going to have, because I think there's a bubble here which shows like select tower. That's our select tower area. So actually I'm just going to, whoops, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put money on the left. Make sure to move your text thing that represents your money as well. Alrighty. So now my money's on the left. I'm going to put my lives on the left as well. And then I think I've got my how many enemies are remaining as well here somewhere. So yeah, a little bit of UI funkiness. So this is your money. If you want to give yourself more money, you just change the initial value, and that's how much money you have in the beginning. You can change your lives. You just change the initial value. You can also change the maximum value. Remember, if your maximum value is set to 10, your initial value can't go beyond it. So if you want to have, okay, actually I want to have 17 lives, then you increase it to there. If you want to have 20 lives, then you can, yeah, you just change the maximum value. Alrighty, friends, let's have a run through to see if we're working. Okay, we've got 12 bucks and we have 20 lives. Let's go arrow tower. There goes our cash. Let's go cannon tower. We've got $1. One buck's left. And we're fighting. We're doing it. And they're taking them down and we can build some more towers. Yes, arrow tower. And we can build a cannon tower. Alrighty, friends. Look at that. So we have now a working money system, a working life system. And friends, that's all there is to it. I hope this was useful. And if you have any questions, if you have any comments, please let me know. Hit me up in the comment section. And yeah, friends, hopefully if you enjoyed this, you can give it a like and maybe subscribe to me and I can make more of these things. Alrighty. Thanks, friends, and I'll catch you on the flip-flop. Peace out.